Hi, this is Jason Major from Sweaty Hero Comic Markets, and today we're going to look at 3 random comics from dollar bins at Vintage and Vinyl Amherstburg store. And so the idea of this is that you would be to show you things that you can find at different comic stores or stores that you can find in the bargain bins for $1, and can give you a review of stuff. So today we have Star Trek, Harlon and Ellison's The City on Edge Forever, the original teleplay. We have our Ultimate Captain America number 2, and we have Archer and Armstrong number 1 from Valiant. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about each title and a quick review. So first, let's go with Archer and Armstrong. So this is from 1992 with Jim Shooter doing the story and script, and Bob Layton also doing the story and inking, and Barry Windsor Smith doing the artwork. And so Barry Windsor Smith, of course, was famous for of course, the Weapon X storyline in Marvel Comics Presents featuring Wolverine. This cover also looks like it's a Frank Miller cover. Unity was the crossover that kind of united all the Valiant characters in the 90s. And so you had some characters that were Gold Key characters like Solar and Magnus Robot Fighter were the characters that Gold Key had created, along with Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, and other characters. And they kind of used those as a starting point to creating and building their own comic book superhero universe, which included titles like Shadow Man, Archer and Armstrong, Eternal Warrior, Exo-Manowar, Harbinger, Rai, which is a kind of a ninja guy, and then later on you had Hardcore, Corpse, and Ninjak, and The Visitor, and a whole bunch of others as well. And I think that basically Valiant was really big in the early 90s with their number 0 issues, and Unity started with a number 0 issue, and then they had, this is Archer and Armstrong number 1. I think there was an Archer and Armstrong number 0, and this is chapter 3. And so I would say that, like, in terms of let's talk about the issue itself before we get into a little bit about Valiant. So basically it's in the middle of the storyline, and you basically see that Archer and Armstrong are in this lost land that's kind of like where all these heroes from different times have joined to fight against this one person called the Mother God, and Archer and Armstrong and the Eternal Warrior are all there, and they're trying to fight and figure out how to defeat him. So the artwork's pretty good. I found the story a little confusing in terms of, like, considering this is a first issue, it doesn't really explain enough of what's going on to me for me to totally understand, except the fact that, okay, one's called Armstrong, one's called Archer, and they're stuck in this lost land. There you have an ad for John Byrne's X-Men, which is not at all like X-Men. Joke. But I would say that I give this story a C. I like the artwork, I like the introduction, but I felt that there was not enough in here that would make it really compelling to make it a must-buy if it wasn't $1 or less. However, that said, there's a lot of Valiant comics I think that are worth checking out for $1, like Magnus Robot Fighter, Solar the Man of Atom, Exo-Manowar, a whole bunch of stuff that's worth looking in the dollar bins, and sometimes you can find them as low as 10 cents. I'm not kidding. And this is 2024 when I made this video. My question before I move on to the next title is whether you think that Valiant comics could one day go up in value if they ever have like a movie or TV show. And maybe that's what would it take for these comic books to go up in value, is them becoming mainstream through a movie, a TV show, or a brand new comic book series. I'm not even sure if a new comic book series would be enough of a bump for them, but considering that these books are from the 90s and this was a really developed universe, I think that it's worth checking out some of these things for 10 cents or a quarter, $1. Then you have Ultimate Captain America number 2, This is by Jason Aaron and Ron Garney, Ron Garney's done a lot of Captain America artwork before. I didn't like this, actually. I thought it was very cynical, a very cynical look at Captain America. The storyline following basically him trying to fight and find the Captain America of the Vietnam War. So for me, it was just not my jam, not my thing. If you like Jason Aaron, you might want to check it out. And if you like the Ultimate Universe, you might want to check it out. I found that I haven't read enough of the Ultimate Universe, the original Ultimate Universe outside of Ultimate Spider-Man, but Ultimate Captain America, as well as an issue of Ultimate X-Men I read recently, just really weren't my jam. They were too cynical and just too dark. But the artwork is pretty cool. And for $1, if you like Captain America, if you like the Ultimate Universe, recommend, but I give it probably a C-. Then we have Star Trek, the Harlon Ellison's The City on Edge Forever, the original teleplay, and this is a painted book, so you can see that it's all like sort of painted. The artwork in here is really good. The IDW series was a UK version of the graphic novel series of Star Trek, where each graphic novel would reprint a miniseries from Star Trek or a part of a comic run, and then also include one of the Gold Key issues. And you would also have a Gold Key Star Trek comic book in the back. And so it's really kind of interesting the way they did this, because they don't even do this in chronological order or by different characters like Star Trek, Star Trek Next Generation. They're not separate lines; they're all one line. So Star Trek Volume 2 of the graphic novel has this miniseries based on the original TV series. It is followed. It says the next graphic novel will be Star Trek: The Next Generation Hive miniseries. They basically jump from back and forth from not just one comic run or one, but even publishers. So it doesn't matter which publisher. They just chose randomly different publishers that they would follow. As a story and art, if you're a Star Trek fan, this is excellent. And obviously it's based on one of the best Star Trek episodes, even though I'm more of a fan of Star Trek Next Generation, although I grew up in Star Trek as well, but I just don't remember I don't remember a lot of the classic episodes enough. I haven't seen them enough times, but it is a really good story, really well done art. They are on model, and for $1, you can't go wrong with this either. So those are my 3 choices today. You have Star Trek, and I'd say that a lot of the Star Trek stuff, whether it's DC, Marvel, IDW, there's a lot of great Star Trek stuff that's worth looking in the dollar bins for. Ultimate Captain America, which I don't recommend unless you love Ultimate Comics and Captain America, and then Archer and Armstrong, which I give a mild thumbs up. Check it out. And in terms of being a novelty of the Valiant universe, was really interesting to me. Until next time, Sweaty Heroes Comic Bargains, and we'll do this next time with 3 different comic bargains. Thanks.